Have you ever wondered what was the worst time to be alive in mankind's history? Sure, there have been many terrible years in human history plagues, wars, Kardashians. But one year stands above them all. That year went down in history as the worst year to be alive. Let me tell you about 536 AD. My name is Darek, and welcome to the Sands of Time. It's 536 AD. You are a villager in Byzantine Empire. Imagine that you are waking up one morning and looking through the window. But sun, usually bright and powerful, does not look same as yesterday. It's weak, sickly shadow of itself. Soon after, temperatures begin to drop, crops failing, and people start panic. So, how was the life for anyone unlucky enough to be alive at that time? First of all, you will be hungry, really hungry. Failed crops caused a famine that spread like a celebrity scandal. People ate whatever they could find roots, bark, maybe even that one cuisine that nobody liked. The Byzantine Empire was a pure chaos. Officials were desperately trying to collect taxes because the armies were mutilated due to unpaid wages. Emperor Justinian, busy conquering former Roman territories, now also has to juggle food shortages, inflation, riots, and angry people trying to loot the warehouses just to get a loaf of bread. Big construction projects like aqueducts, bridges, defensive walls, all stalled entirely because the laborers have nothing to eat. The historian Procopius recorded grim details of that events. He wrote about people wandering the countryside, starving, taking whatever they could find just to survive. Theft, fights, and killings over food became daily occurrences. One passage reads, "Many perished from hunger and many more from violence, yet still land yielded nothing, and the suffering continued." But it wasn't just Byzantium having a rough time. Europe was in trouble too. Ireland and Britain also saw failed harvests leading to widespread famine. In Scandinavia, ice pushed south, making winters harsher than anyone remembered. Even in China, officials reported an unseen strange cold and crop failures, disrupting local economies and causing unrest. Essentially, if you were alive anywhere, from Europe to Asia, things were difficult, really difficult. And if you think it couldn't get any worse, enter 541 AD, the Plague of Justinian. The sequel nobody asked for, because as old saying goes, misery like company. So, what actually triggered this global catastrophe? Scientists now believe that in 536 AD, the sun dimmed dramatically because of one or more massive volcanic eruptions, probably in Iceland or somewhere in the North Hemisphere. These eruptions spewed enormous amount of ash and sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, forming a sun-blocking veil. According to Michael McCormick and his colleagues in their 2012 study, this dust cloud caused temperatures to drop and sunlight to appear dim and reddish for over a year. Those massive eruptions threw the climate out of balance, setting off a domino effect: reduced sunlight, lower temperatures, failed harvests. With less food to eat, famine spread, living populations weakened. And weakened populations, they became easy prey for disease. Just a few years later, in 541 AD, the Plague of Justinian struck, wiping out estimated 25 to 50 million people. And as if famine and plague weren't enough, instability sparked conflicts. Local uprisings and border skirmishes flared across Europe and the Middle East. While the major war, like the Gothic War in Italy, were already underway, these climatic disasters intensified them as starving populations and armies fight to secure resources. By the way, Gothic War was on for 19 years. But you know what does not take 19 years? Subscribing to this channel and hitting that like button. That will take you just few seconds and will be helpful and super rewarding for me. Thanks in advance. By the end of 6th century, Europe and Middle East was a mosaic of struggling communities, ruined cities, and depopulated countryside. It wasn't just one bad year. 536 AD was the opening act in the Decade of Darkness. Famine lingered for years in many regions. Gothic wars in Italy continued, leaving towns destroyed and fields unattended. Economies collapsed, trade slowed, and the combination of famine, plague, and political instability created a feedback loop of suffering that lasted decades. So, the next time you complain about Monday or a cloudy week, just remember, at least the sun didn't vanish for 18 months. Compared to 536, your week isn't that bad. Thanks for watching.